Hey there, I'm Kat, and this is Brews and Reviews. So it's time for another Retellathon TBR, which I'm actually going to film properly this time because it's easy for me to do it properly this time. Now that I've got a computer, I can upload things properly, and Cooper, please stop doing that. I will eat you, young man. Look at this young man here. So Cooper's joining me for a small half sec because he wanted to eat the camera. That's not good. Don't eat the camera, man. Alright, go there then. Alright then. This is a weird situation, you know. You're not going to fit up there. Don't eat that book. Don't eat that book. Come here. Come. You need to come down from there, don't you? You're not going to fit in there. Now that Cooper has stopped climbing all over me, this is going to be a TBR video, as you can probably tell from the title. I'm going to be taking part in the Retellathon, which is basically a readathon centered on retellings of fairy tales, historical things, basically anything you want. As long as it's a retelling, get on it. So that sounded pretty damn perfect for me. Retellathon starts on July 8th and runs until the end of the Retellathon. This would have been good to look up before I filmed this. Yep, I'll leave it down in the description below, along with all of the creators and the hosts of this readathon. So please do check them out because they're all awesome people. And yeah, I'm just gonna give you my TBR based on the challenges, and yeah. So challenge number 1 is Love at First Sight. Read a retelling of your favourite fairy tale. I'm kind of going to cheat on this one because I don't really have a favourite fairy tale, but I do have like a favourite myth, and I'm going to roll with that because of course I am. My favourite myth is that of Hades and Persephone. So I chose to read Abandoned by Meg Cabot. Now, the only thing I know that Meg Cabot has written is The Princess Diaries, and I never read those, so I've never read anything by her. And I'm not expecting it to be truly wonderful, but the way that this TBR has worked out, I kind of needed it to be an audiobook, and that was the only Hades Persephone retelling I could find on Audible, so we're going with that one. I kind of want to work my way through Hades Persephone retellings anyway, so I was going to have to read this at some point, and yeah, I'm choosing that. Challenge number 2 is True Love's Twist. So for that challenge you have to read a queer or gender-flipped retelling. For that challenge I chose The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, because like I have heard everyone and their mother talking about this book, and everybody seems to love it. And I'm all for reading like about Achilles because, as you might have guessed already, I'm a big fan of the Greek mythology. So yeah, I'm super intrigued about this one. I've got this one on an audiobook as well, so 2 of the 5 challenges are going to be audiobooks, which will suit me quite well because I'm quite busy during that week. Hopefully this will work out. Next up is Faraway Kingdom. Read a retelling of a fairy tale from your heritage. Again, we know that I'm not so great with the fairy tale side of thing, even though I thought like there would be loads of fairy tales. I've got loads of fairy tale retellings that just don't fit these challenges, so I'm kind of leaning towards more like a myth type stand on this. So we are going to read Ghost King by David Gemmell, which is a King Arthur retelling, hence my Tristan mug from the 2004 King Arthur, because Mads Mikkelsen. Ghost King is a King Arthur retelling, and it's the first in a duology, and yeah, I remember really enjoying this, and I found it really interesting. I think the second book is more interesting than this one, but I'm kind of just rereading David Gemmell's books, and this seemed like a perfect choice. It's not too big of a book really, is it? It's less than 300 pages, so that's pretty good for a readathon. Next up is challenge number 4, Under a Spell. Read the group book. So the group book for the Retellathon is The Surface Breaks by Louise O'Neill. I don't own this book yet. I'm going to buy this book because, well, we'll see. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to read this book because I'm not a massive fan of Little Mermaid retellings, which is going to sound weird in a minute when I tell you what my next choice is. But I don't know. There's something about The Little Mermaid that I'm just like, I don't gel with her as like a character. So I find it kind of hard to get into, and I'm not really sure it'd suit me for a readathon. So as much as I like doing group books because you get that community aspect of a readathon, I'm not really sure I'm going to read that one. So if I don't read that one, then I'll probably substitute it with A Court of Thorn and Roses or Last Sword of Power, which is the second in the duology of the Ghost King one. So I'll definitely read a retelling of some sort for that, just so that I still read 5 books for the readathon, but just maybe not that one. We'll see. I might feel differently when it comes to the time, but I don't think I will. So the final challenge is Unhappily Ever After. Read a retelling with a dark twist, so either from the villain's point of view or with an unhappy ending. Basically, yeah, anything that is not quite how you would expect a fairy tale to go. So for this one I'm going to be reading The Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. Now I have this as an ARC from NetGalley, so I need to read this at some point soon anyway. This kind of seemed like a perfect time. It's basically the A Little Mermaid retelling from the point of view of Ursula, as far as I gathered. Not Ursula, but I mean like the sea witch in the story. So yeah, I'm doing one Little Mermaid retelling. I don't know if I can do 2. We'll see. Yeah, so these are the books that I'm going to be reading for Retellathon. If you're planning to take part in Retellathon, please let me know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd like to chat to you about Retellathon because I'm super into it. So if you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!